And it's time for a new Housewives franchise. It's called The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, but I have a lot of questions. Business, y'all. This be your boy Scotty by Nature TV, and you're here for another review. Well, your first review of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Season 1, Episode 1. This review probably not going to be that long because we're being introduced to these housewives. So basically, we're going to be introduced to them, telling each other, you know, talking about who they are, what they do, what they're about. And that's basically what the justice of it is. So let's get right on into this shit. We're gonna start off with Jen. Now, Jen is the supposed queen bee of the Salt Lake City franchise. I believe that's what they're gonna market her to be. And she's married with a black husband who is fine as a motherfucker. And I think she got like 2-3 kids. And she was supposed to be a part of the Mormon religion, which doesn't really like blacks. But she couldn't do that because she loved her black husband and her black ass kids. So therefore, she did not get with their religion, but she is Islam though. Like, she does rep that shit, you know what I'm saying? So she was up there entertaining her kids, talking about if you kiss folks, you're gonna get the clap and everything else. Like, she was fucking hilarious. I love Jen, okay? I already like Jen. Already, okay? So that was our first glimpse at Jen. The second one was Heather. Now Heather looked like, just like Jen, looked like she'd had a couple of surgeries during her day. And I'm like, half these women didn't even need surgery. Like, did you see some of their pictures and shit like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, they was showing the pictures of them and all this other stuff, and then it's kind of like this. Like, why y'all gonna get surgery? Like, what were y'all insecure about? You know what I'm saying? Like, cause y'all was beautiful women, so what the fuck y'all getting, you know, all this shit done to your face? Cause now y'all look like fucking wax figures and shit. You know what I mean? But Heather is a part of the Mormon religion, and not only is she a part of it, but the Mormon religion don't like blacks. They don't like hip-hop music. They don't like this. They don't like that. So she's not a good Mormon woman because she loves black people. She loves gay men. She loves hip-hop music. So she's not being good to her religion. And that's real funny. But for whatever reason, I like Heather. But for whatever reason, this show is kind of racist. It got some little racist undertones to it, in my opinion, because this whole Mormon thing is like they don't like blacks. Like, it's a racist-ass religion. So these motherfuckers don't even follow the shit, so why are they even repping that religion? I never understand it, child. We meet Meredith. Now, she got a gay son. He is so cute. And he got so many good one-liners already. I believe he gonna be the star of the show. You know what I mean? Like, her and her husband and her son are very entertaining. You know what I mean? And I think she owns her own company. And one thing about this show is that all these women all have different types of companies that are rich, like for real. Like, they're not pretending to be rich. You know what I mean? Especially living in a place like Utah, you cannot pretend to be rich, honey. You just cannot pretend to be rich. You got to have your money on point when you're living in a place like Utah. Then we meet Lisa. I think Lisa is Jewish. If I'm not mistaken, she's Jewish. She's not a part of the Mormon thing, but she's Jewish and she got her own business and all of that other stuff. So I'm just like, okay, bitch, like, all these people got businesses and they real rich and you can tell they rich. Look at how they living, you know what I mean? Like, it's just giving me like the early days of the Housewives of Atlanta, like when they used to show their rich and lavish lifestyles and shit like that. That's the shit that they used to do, you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, that's what they do, and I love it. 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 Like, go ahead, bitch. Like, I love that shit. So Jen and Heather, they meet up at this facial place, and you know, Jen is a regular customer. Her and Heather obviously got, you know, a history. They talk about Meredith's birthday party, and Jen got a lot of things up her sleeve that Heather thinks that Meredith wouldn't really want her to be doing, okay? So I'm like, Jen is that type of person, okay? Like, she finna plan the party, she finna do this, it's been to be some over-the-top type of shit. So I'm just like, oh, okay, girl, I see what you're doing, you know what I'm saying? So she that type of person. She likes to be the type of friend that's gonna take this shit over and then make it out to be something else, you know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, girl. So we meet Whitney. She's renewing her vows after being together for 10 years with her man. But what's really crazy about it is that she said that nobody in their families wanted them to be together. Like they had a wedding full of people that didn't want them together. They worked together. They had a hot office romance that they had to keep secret because they were both married. to somebody else. Bitch, these women are messy as a motherfucker. Like, they messy as hell. And I'm living for it. This bitch straight up said she worked with this man. They had an office romance that they had to keep to themselves because they were both married. So they had an extramarital affair on each other. Not on each other, but they had an extramarital affairs on their significant others to be with each other. They left their significant others and got married to one another, and they still together 2 years later. That shit is fucking messy, okay? Fucking messy and fucking crazy. And not only that, Whitney is Heather's cousin, so, you know, that gives her some spice. So after that, Jean and Stuart is planning the party. Like, she trying to get all this extra shit going on. They're going to be, the servers going to be dressed some kind of way. And Jean said, this party is for Meredith, but it's for me too. You know what I mean? Like, she trying to make this whole party about her. I'm like, Jean is something serious, baby. So Jean and Lisa, they discussed the party. And, Jen was basically telling Lisa that, you know, she saw Heather. You know, Heather said that she knew Lisa from way back when. And Lisa said, you know, I don't know her. Like, she played the Mariah Carey card. Like, I don't know her. And Jen was kind of taken by surprise that Lisa acted like she didn't know who the hell Heather was. So I'm just like, oh shit, this finna be some drama right here. You know, Jen, messy ass, is gonna go back and tell Heather what she said. I had said that when I saw the show. I said, I know she's finna go right back and tell her what the fuck she said. I already know it. So we're introduced to Mary with the bad wig. She looked like a witch. Number one, Mary is married to her grandmother's second husband. And apparently her grandmother put it in the will that if something ever happened to her, she wanted her husband to marry one of her girls. And Mary was one of the girls that he chose, and they've been together ever since. So that was a dying wish from her grandmother. And I'm just like, that shit is weird as a motherfucker. Like, I don't give a damn if that's my biological grandfather or my non-biological grandfather. Why the fuck would I be wanting to be married to my, just to know that my grandmama had his dick in her and not his dick in me? Oh God, no. Mary and Whitney, they were talking, and apparently Jen and Mary got some beef going on. Although they were cool at the beginning, but they're not cool now. And apparently Jen is mad at Mary because Mary said that Jen smelled like a hospital. A fucking hospital. Mary was like, well, you know, my aunt, that's like a mother to me, was at the hospital. I was there with her all week, so of course it's gonna smell. But Mary was being rude and pretentious, and I can tell that she was being rude and pretentious. So this is probably gonna be some Nene and Kim beef type shit. That's what this is shaping out to be. But then later on at the party, this is like at the end of the episode, later on towards the party, you know, Jen tells Heather that Lisa said that she didn't know her, and Heather is pissed the fuck off. Like, Heather is mad as a motherfucker. Like, we don't know what's gonna happen when she see her. But when they got to the party, I think, if I'm not mistaken, before I got intertwined with that bullshit that I got intertwined with, I think Lisa tried to speak to Heather, and Heather paid her dust. And then when Jen and Mary came together, they had this mini argument about what's been going on between them two, and then it went to be continued. Now, I know it feels like I just really ran through this review, but it really wasn't much to talk about, being that it was the first episode. We were just getting to know these women and being introduced to them. So I'm just like, okay, you know, this is going to be a very short review, whatever. But it was a good episode. I will say it was a good episode, and I think I'm going to continue to review it. So I ain't never been this excited about a new franchise before. Like, I wasn't even that excited about Potomac because I turned my nose up at Potomac at the beginning because they were talking about all this etiquette bullshit, and I went with that. But however, this is my review on Salt Lake City. Be sure to like, rate, comment, and subscribe. And I'm out of here, you guys. Until next time, peace out.